1, 2, 3, go. How you can help yourself holistically and naturally cure eczema without pharmaceuticals or drugs. So I got eczema about 8 months ago, and I got it after I was spending a lot of time outside tanning in the summer. I would tan for like 8 or 9 hours, and started to get me a weird reaction on my skin. My lips started to like puff out really badly, like under my lip and then above my lip. They doubled in size and they became like insanely painful, just dry. Anybody with eczema would know what I'm talking about. So I didn't know what it was. I had never really I'd never had a skin issue before, so I didn't think I had eczema. So I thought it was maybe like an allergy to something, or like a food allergy, but I didn't know. And at the time, I was actually eating over 3,000 calories a day of just junk food in an attempt to gain weight. So I was eating like more than 3,000 calories a day trying to gain weight because I had never been over 95 pounds in my whole life. So I had ended up getting to like 110 pounds through eating like gallons of milk, chocolate, and junk food all day, every day. And I didn't realize the effect that this was having on my health and on my body, until I started getting the skin rash. And I went to the doctor, and they called it perioral dermatitis because it was all around my lips. And they told me to put on a steroid cream. That didn't work. Actually, do not use a steroid cream at all for eczema because you will end up just completely like breaking out your skin even more because your skin won't be able to fight the inflammation on its own, and then you'll have issues when you stop the steroid cream. So that was a no. I was already into a lot of holistic health, so I decided that I wasn't going to listen to the doctor anymore. And okay, so my doctors, all they wanted to do was put me on another antibiotic, and I was like, no, because I'd already been on 4 courses of antibiotics this year for UTIs, which I would get all the time. And I said no to the antibiotic because something was just telling me that the antibiotic was hurting me and it was actually causing this issue. So I found out that I had leaky gut, which, if you don't know what leaky gut is, it's when the membranes of your stomach tissue start to break apart, kind of like this, and you start to get food particles coming out of the food you eat into your body, and your body treats that as an immune response. It attacks that because it thinks that these are foreign invaders into your body. So then your adrenal glands pump out cortisol, which is an anti-inflammatory, to try and attack the food that you're eating because it's literally leaking out of your gut. So I found out that I had that, and then I also found out that I had candida, which is all about yeast, and it's a yeast overgrowth in your body. And I would say 80% of people probably have candida right now because of our diets. If you eat any processed sugar, or you eat anything that's like meat and dairy in excess, you're gonna get a yeast overgrowth because these foods are acid forming in the body. They aren't alkaline forming. So when I'm talking acid alkaline, I'm talking about the pH scale in the foods that you eat and how that affects your body. So I treated my candida by cutting out all processed sugar. And I know a lot of diets online are going to tell you to cut out sugar completely and even stop eating fruit, but that's not true either because fruit sugar is actually different than regular sugar. It's fructose, and it's broken down in the body as a simple sugar, not a complex sugar. So it's not broken down in a way that takes more energy. It actually takes less energy, and it's more natural to eat. So eating fruit on candida is totally fine. So what I did, I went off prednisone, and the rash exploded on my face. It actually was on my eyelid too. It was all over. I was really upset. I was crying like every day, and I stopped eating the food I was eating. I went straight to leafy greens, vegetables, fruit, and all of that, and I ate that all day, every day. I ate that. I ate fruits, I ate vegetable soups, and I ate fruit smoothies. I made green drinks. I did chlorella. I did anything that was just gonna have a probiotic effect because I had to change my gut biome. And I also took probiotic supplements. These really helped. When I started drinking Cocovit, which has probiotics in it, I would notice that my rash would delay on how quickly it would come back every day. Like, it would go away and then come back, but it would come back less and less when I started drinking Cocovit and eating probiotics. And I just got 2 billion to 4 billion capsules of probiotics. And I would just take the capsules. But there's also other things you can do because probiotics are in food. You can eat sauerkraut, and then you can also eat garlic because that has probiotics in it. So after I started doing that, I noticed my rash was almost completely gone. I was still having issues with other things such as like acid indigestion and exhaustion. I just felt very tired all the time, and I felt like I had very little energy, and a lot of that was from candida. So a big thing with candida is it's related to your adrenal glands. So what you want to do for your adrenal glands is actually drink licorice root tea, because this will take the cortisol that's coming out of your adrenals and it recirculates it in your body. So if you are like losing all that cortisol and then you start drinking tea to help you recirculate that, you're gonna pump up your adrenals. And when you have these issues with eczema, these are autoimmune disorders, which means that your adrenal glands are just not working as well because your adrenals control your autoimmune system. They're like the captain of it, and they are the ones that say, okay, send out cortisol so that we can fight this foreign body, or don't send out any cortisol, fight or flight response. I'm either gonna sit and be parasymptomatic, or I'm gonna run and be in that fight or flight mode. So when you drink licorice root, you're really helping your adrenals. And a big thing about the skin is that it's actually the third kidney of the body. So you have 2 kidneys, and they are what helps you detox from all of your cellular waste that comes out of the billions of cells in your body. And when those kidneys aren't working, when those kidneys are clogged up like mine was when I had this skin rash, all of these toxins go through your skin, and that's why we see eczema, is because our kidneys are clogged. We're not able to dispose of cellular waste through our urine, so cellular waste has to go through our skin. And cellular waste is acidic, cellular waste hurts, it's painful, and that's why we have eczema, because it's painful, it's red, it's itchy, it's acidic. So when you start eating foods that are alkaline forming, you're going to get away from that, and you're going to hydrate your body instead of just acidifying it. So another thing I want to touch on is when you are detoxing, you're going to have healing crises, which are basically just when you get super, super tired and you feel even sicker than you were before. And these might deter you from continuing your detox, but I want to say don't let that deter you at all, because a healing crisis is actually the best thing you can get, because then you know that your body is actually doing something and it's actually healing itself and detoxing. So sometimes when we feel rough, or you get a fever or a headache during this, it's good. It means that the acids and the toxins are moving through your body and they're going out. But I didn't get that too bad. I had some headaches, but it wasn't horrible. Getting off sugar, I was drinking like 5 Gatorades a day, which was insane looking back, but I was trying to gain weight. So that was like 800 grams of sugar pretty much right there, plus all the cookies and like everything else I was eating. I was like almost 800 grams of sugar. When I went off that, I kind of crashed, but the licorice root tea really helped, like a lot. So I would definitely recommend this as a supplement, because that will pump up your adrenals and make you feel less tired when you're detoxing. Okay. So another thing, I'll probably cut. So for calming the inflammation on my skin, I took rosehip oil, and I actually have a really great brand right here by Ador. And I'd put this on my rash like at night, and it would calm it so much. Like, this was a lifesaver. I would just bathe my skin in like pounds of this stuff and just let it marinate on me. And that really, really helped when I was breaking out. It really just calmed it. Plus, it's all natural, it's all organic, so you're not going to continue to be putting toxins on your skin when you use something like that. Another thing is sea salt and coconut oil is really good to calm eczema. And this spray by Cocovit actually has both in it, and it's really, really awesome for calming eczema skin. And you just spray it on, and I love it. Like, it's nice. It just calms it. The sea salt will kind of burn your skin a little bit, just a warning, but that just means that it's because it's antibacterial, so it's combating the bacteria, and that's why it's gonna burn a little bit, but it's not gonna hurt like at all that bad. So when I went on these probiotics and started eating these leafy greens, my rash was like 80% gone in 2 weeks. Like, it was just gone. Like, I felt worlds better too. I could taste things finally. I hadn't been able to really taste food. I didn't even know that lettuce really had taste to it. I was just eating crap, and I just felt like crap. So when I started eating these lively, alive foods, I felt amazing. But I wasn't like completely to the end of my journey. I didn't completely heal it because I didn't realize all of the systemic issues that I had related to my eczema. So then I found Dr. Robert Morse, and he's an excellent healer, and I'm gonna link his video on the lymphatic system down below, because it's really, listening to this video, you will understand how to detox, like how to completely control your body and just figure out how to get your body back into good shape. He's an amazing healer. He's healed people from cancer, and he's all holistic, and he's all about fruit, because fruit is the highest energy form of food that you can eat. When you eat fruit, it's the most hydrating to you. And when I started eating fruit, I was taking my body from an acidic state, and I was moving it back towards that alkaline state. And then I was healing. So I felt my rash go away, and I also felt I got mucus out. I got lots of toxins out. I went through a lot of days where I would just be blowing my nose for like hours because I was getting mucus out. So why mucus? Okay, so mucus comes from the body when it sees something in it that it finds that it cannot fight. It will surround it with mucus, and that's a response that your body has. So when you eat something that isn't like correct for your body or isn't healthy, like meat or dairy or wheat, these are things that are foreign to our body that our body was not meant to digest. So it will surround it with mucus so that it doesn't damage the mucosa of your tissue. So when you actually are having a cold, you're actually just having a healing crisis where you're getting all of that mucus out of your body and you're going back to a more alkaline state. So colds, sickness, and flus is actually really good, and we don't want to suppress those with Mucinex or any type of drug, because when you suppress that, you're just pushing that mucus further into the tissue, and you're just causing more and more issues down the road. So I ended up going on a lot of fruit detoxes and taking herbs from Dr. Morse, and right now my skin is glowing. Issues to cure. When I was having those UTIs, that was a symptom of my bladder and my kidneys not being able to detox all of those acids, and then when I took those antibiotics, I was actually pushing those acids deeper into my tissue. So I need to get those acids out, and so I'm doing that through a fruit detox right now. You can do a lot of different things as well if you're not into just doing fruit. You can just eat plant-based. Even just going vegan is a better step than anything else, because meat is actually acidic. Another reason that people have celiac disease is not necessarily because wheat is bad for us. It's really just because wheat is sprayed with glyphosate, and glyphosate is a chemical. It's a carcinogen. So that carcinogen in our bodies literally tears apart the mucus of our the lining of our GI tract, and then when you get that wheat out into your body, the body thinks that the wheat is the foreign invader, and the body attacks the wheat. So you have celiac disease where people are just having attacks for wheat, but it is really glyphosate. But it is hard to find wheat that isn't sprayed with glyphosate, so my recommendation is to go to your local health store and find spelt bread, or find other bread that's made with ancient grains. And ancient grains are not sprayed with that. They are differently cultivated, so you're not going to get that type of response. But when you are in this state and you are having eczema, just the most important thing is to be calm. The most important thing is just to have a calm mindset. There is nobody I've ever spoken with who has gone plant-based has ever been like, well, it didn't help. It has always helped. And just realize that it does take time, because these are issues that you've been building up in your body for years and years and years. And if you think it's going to go away, in a day, it's not. I got very lucky with mine going away in 2 weeks, and I didn't really have eczema for that long, which is why I think it went away so fast. I only had it for like about a month before that. Another thing that I want to talk about was chemicals in products, and you want to totally reduce your chemical intake by switching your foundation, your makeup, anything that you're wearing that has chemicals in it is just a no-no. It's really just going to slow down your body's detoxification process, and it's going to just make this even longer for you. So the more that you can look at your makeup, or the more that you can look at your cleaning supplies, office supplies, anything that you spray, like a fragrance has a lot of endocrine disrupting chemicals in it, and you just want to get those away from you as soon as possible. And then you'll feel a lot better after that. I wanted to talk about this foundation from José Maran, because it's a really chemical-free and like completely organic foundation that I started wearing after I got eczema, and nothing was more calming to my skin at that point. Like if I put on a very heavy foundation, it really, really hurt. So the biggest thing is to just stay calm and realize that you're going to get through this. You will come out the other way with amazing glowing skin. Plant-based diets are so hydrating, they're so alkaline forming. You're just doing the most for your body, and you should feel really good about that. So if anybody has any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you want to hear more about this, or if you need to contact me directly for questions, if they're urgent, I'm going to leave my email address actually right down below in the description box, and you can just contact me directly there. Better, and I don't need to
I've been painting every fence I know.